All right, test 1 2, test 1 2. Test 1 2, test 1 2. Test. This one's not as loud. Test. Here we go, test. All right, Dusty, just listen, okay? See. I can hear you. Good. All right. Coach Young, your mic. Too big. Oh, he gave you those? Oh, I do. But you could. Some people put it like this. Put it in here, over your ear too, if you want. But I put it over my head. That's just the way we're used to it. Okay, now that test, test. You can hear me okay? Okay. Okay. Test. Is it better now? Okay. I turned it up. Okay. Let me tell them.
Good.
Okay, go
A
ahead
little
and
higher on me. Two, one.
you're two here.
Okay. Test.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Here we go.
Test.
How about now?
Panthers.
Heard lids. Who is me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn me up a little bit.
I got you all the way up there. So.
Okay. So.
Wait, you go ahead and talk.
All right. Let's go. Panthers. Test. 1, 2, 3.
Let's see. Is yours?
Test.
There you go.
Much better.
Yeah, these have to be
All right.
almost right up to your.
Okay. Care.
Now you go ahead and sit in the middle.
Okay.
Coach, you're right by Lance, Coach Blunt, and then Coach Dunham. And we're ready to go live. 3, 2, 1.
You're watching the 2024 Football Preview Show on the Navarro Panther Network, powered by the Panther Posse. My name's Lance Blackburn. I'm the play-by-play guy, joined by Hank Dieter.
Hello.
Color commentary, coach and AD Rod Blunt, and defensive coordinator Justin Dunham. So welcome, guys, to the new season, 2024 football. We're excited. Coach, I know that we've been excited, and we've got the camp up and rolling. So let's talk a little bit about, we go back to August 5th. Talk to us a little bit about camp and how that was, and, kind of what you feel like coming out of camp and things are rolling towards the season now.
Well, it's a very young team, but it's been awesome. It's been great so far this season. A lot of new guys, a lot of new faces, so we're having to coach our tails off every single day. But man, it's been enjoyable. It's been fun. The kids have been focused and locked in, and it's been all about coaching, not having to worry about discipline or keeping kids in line, not goofing off. The kids are just getting after it and they're doing a great job, getting better every single day. It's important to them, and they're feeding off of each other. Seniors have done a great job of stepping up and leading. Caden Guerra, Kate Pugh, Craig Hyman have
Awesome. So coming off a 90 last year, graduated a bunch of seniors, so that's always good to hear that, a large senior class going out and the new senior class this year coming in and stepping up. Love to hear that. Talk to me a little bit, let's go back to the first scrimmage, maybe talk a little bit about the Fredericksburg scrimmage and then, go into the Divine scrimmage and maybe the improvement in between and where we're at today.
It's been a lot of improvement and a lot of work since the inter squad. Lost a couple of guys in the inter squad, got banged up a little bit. So going into Fredericksburg, had to have some different guys stepping up, and there were some struggles offensively and defensively a little bit, but there are also a lot of things to build on in there. The main thing is just the effort of the kids. Give up a long pass, break down in coverage, and we got a kid coming all the way across the field, running him down, making a tackle inside the 5, and then have to play 6 downs inside the 5 and hold them out, keep them from scoring. So anytime that effort and that hustle intensity is there, we can always get better, and that's something to build on.
Love it, love it. Yeah, absolutely. I noticed that. I wasn't at the Fredericksburg scrimmage, but yes, certainly in the Divine scrimmage. Coach Dunham, any thoughts on camp out of your group defensively? Going.
Piggyback off what Coach Blunt said. I mean, we got a bunch of young guys coming out, guys that are inexperienced, but they played football their whole life, and they're stepping up and doing what we need them to do. The effort's been there, the pursuit's been there on defense, just the energy. Talk to them constantly about, you got to bring the energy. We got to be happy for our teammates. Somebody makes a good play, we make an interception, get a turnover, we need to be hooting and hollering. Just like when our offense makes a long run, I love seeing the running back score a touchdown, and then all of our big old linemen going down there and giving them high fives and celebrating as a family and as a team. And this group has really done a great job of that so far in these first 3 weeks. It's fun to be around a group of kids and young men that truly like being around each other, playing for each other, and enjoy wearing that in on the helmet and the Panthers on their uniform. It's amazing.
So if we go
every day, and when that happens, everybody's getting better and it's making the team better. So that group has done a great job. And then some of the younger backs, Corbin Benish is hitting the hole well, showing a lot of speed, doing some great thing in the backfield as well.
Yeah, great stuff. What about you, Coach Dunham, on the defensive side?
I guess our most experienced group coming back is our secondary. We've got several seniors in that end, starting with J.J. Wise, Ethan Beauchart, Montgomery Elder. They're back there leading it. They're getting us lined up right. They're making sure the coverages are relayed back and forth all across the field. They're really leading the defense on that third level, which is very, very important. The linebacker level, it's very inexperienced, but we've got some young, talented guys. Craig Hyman, he's always been an offensive player for us, but this year he's really stepping up, and he's leading that linebacker group right now. It's been great to see. He on either side of him, he's got Luke Vogel, and he's got Alex Leckwald going there, both guys that are that I'm really excited for and happy for. His senior, Ethan Beauchart, he's just been on the back half. He's getting everybody lined up right. He's communicating. He's got a smile on his face. Came down a hill a few times the other night, and is just laying the big stick and things like that. And it's really, really awesome to see just 2 seniors stepping up and taking advantage of the opportunity that they have, and they're going to be leaders all year. It's amazing.
All right, that's awesome. Love to hear all that. The next portion that we're going to jump into, Hank, is offense. Let's start on the offensive side of the football. We're going to go position breakdown, and I'm going to go, basically across the offensive line, name all the players as a group, and then, Coach, if you want to,
Craig has done a great job, extremely athletic. He can play multiple positions across the offensive line, but we're trying to utilize his athletic ability a little bit, and he's done a great job of learning that position. Good placement on his kickouts, and he's just a nasty kid, gets after it, and he likes contact, and he's going to go find it. Dylan Scoggins has been a great surprise for us, has really stepped up this year and playing good ball. He got in the other night and made some good key blocks and got our offense rolling for us. And Luke Vogel has been just absolute firecracker, getting after it, flying around. He's got great speed, and he'll play anywhere that we put him.
all right, let's move to the center position. A lot of times, making the calls from the center position, important position.
Being physical out there. Mason Berry, gets after it. We expect to see him on defense a lot, but he fills in. He had to fill in this week and did a great job for Black. Gets after it. Bryce Lang, he's got a high motor, and it's going to be full speed all the way. And you better be running, have your eyes on a swivel when he's out there.
I love hearing that. I love hearing that from your offensive line, man. That's great to hear. And strong tackle to kind of round out the offensive line position. We've got Big Rob, Beltran, Ledesma, and Mendoza.
Pushing each other every day. All of them want that starting spot, and they really get after it. Beltran's kind of got his foot in the door right now. He's been doing a lot of great job with his detail and how he's taken his first step and his fundamentals and getting a ton better. Chris Ledesma's a young cat, but he's got that size and
sophomore,
he's got
right?
that motor, yes sir.
Yeah.
Got a lot of pop to him.
You know, if they don't make that first step and get where they need to be, you know, they're already behind the game. So what's your thoughts on that, Coach?
That's something that we work on every day, and we'll work on it from first day of practice when we're not in pads and until our last practice before we win the state championship. We're going to be taking that first step over and over, be fundamentally sound, making sure that guys are doing that because we don't know what we're going to see each week. People are going to get out of their base defense to play us. They're going to put people in gaps. They're going to stunt people, send everybody. So we've got to know our role, take that step, and pick up who's in that area. It's not about getting on a man. You're blocking that guy.
Right.
This area, whoever may be in there. And that first step, if you ever chase somebody, it's going to leave a hole, and we're going to get hit in the backfield.
Yes, sir. Well,
All right. Any final thoughts on the offensive line before we jump into kind of our receiver group? Swing man and tight end. So let's start over here with the swing man.
Kind of opened the game up for us, and then in the playoffs, had another great catch. But he's been doing a great job of setting that edge and blocking for us. Melton is a guy that's been working hard. He's got the body for it, and he's all coming together, and he's learning the system and getting better every single day and getting after it.
and I do have one thing about tight ends. I know there's a certain player so that if they don't collapse that side end, that play will never work. And you got to have the right personnel. Do you feel like you have the right guys for that right now? Because I've seen Galini, good, tall, athletic person, and you know his ability to catch and all, but can he block?
Yes, sir. You've got to be able to set the edge, like you said, and he's done a great job of correcting that first step and making sure that he's right and making sure that his aiming point's right, because a lot of times he's going to be going against that defense. Very, very fast guy. Evan has done a great job for us. Had a little bit of issue and missed time the last couple of weeks, but he takes pride in doing every little thing right. His steps are going to be on every single time, and a lot of speed as well. Throws a good ball, but he can be used in a multiple positions. And Hudson Jenner's been that guy that just taking pride in it. He's going to study. He's going to be living in the playbook. You know his huddle is going to be watched, his film. He's going to watch it and see what he does and get better every week. But his steps have been amazing and did a really good job on Thursday night against Devine.
Yeah, I've been real impressed with the quarterback position, being able to throw the ball away at times and avoid the rush and things like that. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, from what I saw is that, you know, especially with Helford on the run, he threw a couple of dimes. I mean, and he's running out to his left, and he's able to hit, you know, the receiver right in the hands, even though the receiver didn't catch it, but he still put it in a spot where only the receiver was going to catch it, and you really got to like that about a sophomore, you know. He can put it on the money, and also when you do see Rodriguez and such come in, you do see some maturity there, and when they come into huddle, they seem to take control of the huddle. They know what's going on. You know, the other players as well, they know exactly what's called, and you got to have that from your quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. Great young group, looks like coming up here at the quarterback group. Let's jump into running back. Running back, the horses, right, as we call them here.
And the stable, the stable of backs. So,
From what I've seen, it looks like we do got a really nice stable of running backs. Let's start over, again, working left to right. Let's start at tailback. You got Mr. Trotty, who's back. I know he spent a little time playing last year, but looks like it's time for his time in the spotlight. Yentz, Mr. Harris, a little Chambers, Colton Chambers' brother, and I know we've got Rodriguez spend some time over there at that tailback position. Talk to us about your tailbacks.
We'll start out with Trotty. He's a workhorse, man. He's a weight room junkie. He's going to get in there. He's
Iron Man, right?
every day. Yes,
He was the Iron Man.
Yeah.
No.
Awesome.
He's got a lot of speed. He kind of reminds me of the older Chambers. Physical. He's going to get in between the tackles and run and put his head down and pick up some more yards. So we're excited about him. Ryan Yinch has done an amazing job and stepped up. He had some huge blocks going and getting a linebacker against Devine on Thursday night, and then had a 30-yard touchdown run at the end. Just gotten tough and getting better every week. Harris is a guy that moved in this year. We got him cleared and going, and he's learning the system, but he's got a lot of speed and quickness, and we're expecting big things out of him. Chambers missed the season last year with an injury, but he's back, and he's a fireball, man. He's always happy. He's always excited, and you're going to get every ounce of him every time that we snap the
That
ball.
must run in the family there. So, yeah, awesome. Well, it's great to hear that. Let's move over to fullback. We've got Mr. Cohen Blunt. Obviously, he's spent quite a bit of time on varsity the past couple years. I talked to you about it when you came in today, and just ran like a stallion and a beast there, especially at the end, which you love to see.
Ring a little bit. Cohen's a big physical guy. Corbin's smaller, but he's got a burst and a first step, and kind of we expect some big things out of them. Just the combination of Cohen hitting it, and then finish going to be by you a lot quicker.
So thunder and lightning.
Yes,
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
Okay.
Good kids. Matthew Villanueva is an awesome kid. He's been a stud for us on the baseball field for several years, and decided to come out and play football. And we're very excited to see that, because he's a guy that no matter what you ask of him, he's going to give you everything that he has.
That's right.
He's learning it, but he's doing a great job. He had a good run the other night, had a good run against Fredericksburg, and he's also doing a heck of a job at linebacker.
Great. All right, and then let's jump to halfback over here. Mr. Guerra is back for his senior year. He's obviously familiar with being back there. Mason Harvey, big kid, right? Coach Harvey's son, a big, strong, tough kid. J.J. Waz, boy, we saw him drag somebody in the end zone the other night. Colorado Kenaway, and then Blevins and Leckhold as well, some younger guys in the mix there. So talk to us about that group.
It's very, very deep. A lot of guys that do a lot of great things. Garrett's played a lot of offense for us, played at fullback. He moved over to halfback this year. He's doing a great job, extremely physical on his blocking and his running. But his attitude has been awesome, and he's been leading that senior class, and we're excited to see that. Like I said, Harvey is a big physical kid, worked really hard in the spring on his speed and has gotten a lot faster, doing a lot of great things. It's going to be tough to repeatedly tackle him. J.J. Waz, a lot of speed, gets after it. Hopefully that game on Thursday, he's going to bring a lot of confidence for him, big runs. He was hard to tackle, and we expect him to have the ball in his hands.
Seems like he's a lot stronger, right?
He had a great summer. He was up here almost every single day working his tail off, great attitude, and so we're excited for that to pay off this year. Colorado Kenway he's speed, and so we got to get the ball in his hand and get him going downhill. He's going to play a lot on defense, but he's going to have to come over and have some. We're using him as a receiver as well. He's playing a lot of swing man. Went up and had a big catch against Fredericksburg, and some big blocks as well. And Leckwald is another guy that really got physical. Last two scrimmages, had a couple of good runs, and blocking his tail off, and we're expecting good things out of him.
All right, that's going to wrap up the running back. What I've noticed at running back especially is their ability to block, and that's very important, of course, slot T offense. Any final thoughts on the running backs, Hank, that you've got for for the viewers?
I think overall they're still young, but as a group, as with the whole team, you've got a pretty young team, a junior heavy team, I think, and so I think with that, it's it may start a little slow because they're not sure of themselves and they're not sure of the whole, because the slot T is we talked about it up in the press box while we were watching the scrimmage, you and I, and we were talking. But I thought they did a great job overall.
Yeah,
this last scrimmage.
Absolutely. All right, Coach Dunham. Let's jump over to the defensive side and defensive football. I know we lost a bunch of heavy seniors on the defensive side of the football, but man, I've been really encouraged from what I've seen from the defense and what they've done. But let's start what's near and dear to your heart. Let's start with the back. Start with the linebackers. You've coached linebackers, I know, for several years here at Navarro. And along here with your role as the defensive coordinator. So let's start with the strong backer, Craig Hyman and Mr. Blevins.
The linebacker group's really near and dear to me. I played it in high school. It's just a fun group to be around. They got to kind of be able to do everything. We got to stop the run. We got to be able to drop and pass. They got to be able to call the front. They got to do all those things. Blevins and Hyman are both doing a great job at it this year. Craig's really stepped up as a senior, wants to have that spot. He wants to be the man, and he's getting us lined up right. He's taking the right steps. He's going where he needs to go. What happens? I mean,
Yeah.
the first one over there giving him a high five and big old smile on his face and just excited. Matt's been a huge surprise for us. Showed up to play as a senior year. He's always done a great job baseball-wise. Have a good relationship with him because of baseball. And I was like, man, you can come play linebacker. We're going to start you there. If it doesn't work out, we're going to move you somewhere because the athlete like you and you're smart.
Sounds good. What do you, Hank, any thoughts on the backer position, linebackers
Well,
in general?
Yeah, and I got to play little linebacker, middle linebacker way back when. Things have changed so much.
So I'm sitting in.
Yeah. And so, no, I mean, again, I always feel like, you've got to be able to, fit that time. They're 5 to 10 yards down the field. So, Coach, do you think this group is able to, fill the holes that they need to, or is able to scrape well and, and come downhill and meet, make the tackles they need to? But plus, they need to cover under these spread teams. But how do you think they're doing, especially with the scraping and being able to fill?
I mean, that's the hardest part, our eye discipline and being able to read keys and understanding where the fits are at. Those four guys have really been doing a great job. Mason Berry is in there as well. Brighton Camp plays in there as well. Those guys are all interchangeable. And but it is the hardest thing is understanding where those fits are and where those scrapes are. And they can't, you hit it the nail on the head.
That's just huge at that position. I love that. Any thoughts
Yeah.
there? I mean, just.
Yeah, when you talk about defensive ends, yeah, I mean, they've got to have, most of them, just traditionally throughout, Navarro's football history, you see defensive ends that have that height, that length.
That burst.
Yeah, that burst and wingspan. And, yeah, they have to be able to get upfield, but in such a way where they don't take themselves out of the play.
Right.
But and really collapse, that edge and make sure to contain it as well. But that's got to be hard in these schemes nowadays, is because it's not always the defensive end that you have to rely on containing. You have to rely on them to go at the quarterback, but somebody else, like another outside backer or another defensive back, has to come up and contain that edge. How does that play into it a lot now? I mean, with these boys that we have as defensive ends, do they understand when
And take it too offensive. We're not going to stand back and catch. We're going to go deliver a punch. And everybody that's listed on these four defensive line spots that we're about to go.
Can't say enough about Galini. He's played this spot a little bit last year. I think he probably wants to follow in the footsteps of Landon Taylor. Mr. Barry, another Barry boy, comes from good bloodlines as well. Lane Black, a big kid, nice kid. And then, of course, Camp there. So talk to us about that band position, D end.
That band it's kind of like our strong guard. He can play linebacker. He can play secondary for us. It's an athletic guy that's strong, has got length, is a smart, intelligent football player, and all four of those young men that are listed there right now fit that. Galini and B Camp with their length and their speed. That's fun to play with. It's kind of that wild card, that joker that we get to have fun with.
Well, what I noticed in the scrimmage the other night was, I don't know if there was a play that Harvey, Guerra, Lang, and Hernandez all packing some pounds and some beef there. So talk to us about that position.
They got to have size too, but they're the guys that are a little bit quicker. That we want them to be able to use their speed and their athleticism as well. Garrett fits that standpoint. He's played linebacker for us, and
Sure.
realize, hey, you know, you're quicker. Let's get you down there. You're used to coming out of a full-point stance, being a fullback for us and a halfback. You know, so let's put your hand in the dirt and see what you can do. He's doing a good job. It's a new position for him. So there's some growing pains in that, but as a senior, he's accepted that role and he's stepping up and he's trying to do best. Mason Harvey, we got that redheaded connection. We kind of look at each other, and he knows what I'm thinking, and I know what he's thinking. And he goes and takes care of it. He's a big body. Mason can play anywhere on the field, you know, but put him one-on-one with a center, put him one-on-one with a guard. At that size, 260, 250, whatever he weighs now, I mean, that's asking a lot of somebody's offense. And then Bryce Lang has a high motor as well. I mean, he's going to pin his ears back, and he's going to go. You may not know where he's going all the time, but he's going to go, and he's going to do it as fast as he can. And if he messes up, he's coach, I'm going to fix it yesterday. Love all those guys.
What are your thoughts?
They're going to create havoc. Coach Blunt and I talk about that all the time. We both got our teeth as varsity football coaches on the D-line. You know, I coached the interior too my first 2 years as a varsity football coach in George West, and learned that, you know, get to the D-line, hit and separate, squeeze, fight outside, and fight across pressure. And those guys are starting to learn and do that. And then I jumped out to the defensive end, so I love that defensive line. It fits my mentality and things like that. And we're teaching it to those guys. We're loving it, and they're buying in and they're digging into it, and they're starting to get some grit in their neck. And when somebody runs up the middle, they don't make a tackle, they're coming off and they're mad. I know you are. We have a conversation, but they've stepped up, they're owning it, and it's been fun to see, and I can't wait to see what happens over these next 3-4 months.
There's only one problem with the getting too far upfield and being too aggressive is when teams see it. There's that little screen.
Alex has done a great job. He's done a great job for us thus far this year. He and Corbin are kind of battling that position out now. Both quality juniors for us, both doing great things. They both have high upside in whatever they can do. They both play different positions as well. Joey's another senior that's come out and didn't play last year. He's out there enjoying, having fun, being a great teammate, asking a lot of questions, wanting to do things right. And it's been awesome to have Joey around. But that position is kind of tough. You know, we're tweaking it. It's kind of that 1 week you got to play it this week, 1 week you got to play it that way. So those kids have got to be able to not only have a short-term memory, they've also got to understand, like, hey, let's just get in where you can fit in on certain things, see the straight, see the angle. Those things.
Well, sounds good. Yeah, secondary. We lost some guys out of the secondary last year. You know, some big play guys as well. So it sounds like they're well on their way.
He's got a lot of speed. He's got a lot of size as well. Corbin Hannibal's a senior that he's ready to go right there. It's been fun to watch. Trotty's another guy Trotty can play anywhere on the field. If I wanted to put him at D-line, Trotty would go down there. He would excel at D-line.
Right.
Yinch and Chambers round that out. You know, Chambers missed some time, like we talked last year, with a broken collarbone or with an injury, and he jumped in, and he's learning and he's going, and he's had to get some quality reps because he had other guys banged up. And Yinch as well, he can play anywhere in those three, and they're just high motor guys that are understanding it, and it's fun to be around.
Well, yeah, I'm excited for that group. I did see the Shark. Which I've got a new nickname now for him.
Yeah, Shark.
I love that.
I on the buttons that we put up for the. Just like B Camp at B Shark.
Yeah, we may have some new sounds. Be good. So let's jump to corner. Now this one's near and dear to my heart. You know, I'm the small guy here up in the group, as you can probably tell. But let's go to field corner. J.J. Waz coming back at field corner, and Mr. Harris. So important position on the field, especially with as many spread teams as you see, right? So.
Nobody recognizes those guys.
Depends on the coverage, obviously, but that's a big responsibility. Let's jump over to boundary corner, where you got Colorado, Kenaway, Mr. Jenner, and Avant Bates over there.
You talk about the field corner, and then you go to the boundary side. And starting to understand it. He played late for us in the season last year. And
This up to both you guys, secondary-wise, any final thoughts on the secondary?
You know, from what I saw in the Divine scrimmage, I thought they did well. I mean, there's a couple, obviously, busted coverages, but there was a couple of times where it's like, you know, we see a player fall down or so, but, you know, the other guys seem to pick up on that real quick, you know, in the secondary, and says, hey, we got to get over here, you know, quickly to cover for somebody that had just fallen down. And that's not anticipated. You don't anticipate you got to fall down, and I thought they recovered very well from that. And what are your thoughts?
there's a lot of speed in that back half, and those four, whoever's out there, and that we just discussed, they play for each other. They understand it's a brotherhood. They understand they got to have each other's back, and they do that really well. You know, it's like Divine coming out and throwing a ball. It's like us throwing a ball. You know, they're trying to catch us off guard, do something they're not used to doing. So we're in that run mode. I got to come help. And it's like,
Last year, he spent the whole last year with us in our athletic program, working. When we first got here, he struggled squatting a bar, and just the movement and the body of it, and hadn't been around weights a lot. And at the end of the year, he maxed out at 315 pounds. And just the look on his face when after he stood up with that and racked it, he was super excited and wants to be a part of it. And we started spring ball, and we asked him to come out. He was working with some backs and secondary, and said, hey, let's see you kick. And he did a great job without any practice, without ever kicking a football, and made it. So we started putting a little pressure on him, and he's just responded every time. And we'll end practices and in the athletic period. All right, Carlos, we're going to kick a 30-yard field goal. If he misses, we're going to do 5 gassers or bear crawl or whatever. And he's done a great job of connecting there, and just a happy kid, always excited to be around us and be a part of it. And we're glad that he's here, and he's doing a fantastic.
I don't care if you return it, just catch it. Don't let it bounce and don't let it roll. You know, don't let the thing roll 20 yards and cost me that field position. So talk to us a little bit about who we have at returner and moving forward in 2024.
You know, there's several kids that can do it. Dylan Trotty, Corbin Benish, J.J. Waz, Colorado Kenway, Manson Harris, Rodriguez. So we have good depth back there. Got some good speed and some guys that have wiggle. But like you said, it's that guy that can look it in and make that catch.
Got to trust him, right?
Especially on pump. We want that guy that's going to get up there. I'd rather you wait fair catch, get up there, look it in, and let us take it from there than have it rolling around on the ground.
Yeah, very, very important. Any final thoughts? Any questions we got on special teams? Or Coach Dunham as well, if you want to jump in?
Yeah, I know that we did the kind of rugby style of punts, you know, over the last 4 or 5 years or what have you. But are we still going to see that? They'll see it on film.
Yes, you know, it's a possibility. It's a look that we're going to have right now. Where we're, you know, making sure our protection is there, catching, getting the kick off and covering.
Well, personally, I liked it because it always puts the defense in a position where, right, is he going to run it or is he going to actually punt it? And the rules do still protect the punter in those situations as long as until they tuck it, you know. But otherwise, you know, they do get that protection out there as well once they kick the ball. So
they have to earn our trust first that they're going to be able to make that quick decision.
Sure.
If you hesitate, it's not going to be good. You either got to sprint out there, get rid of it, or take it and run. And, that's right. So as soon as they earn our trust, we'll do a little bit more with that.
But as a fan, though, it's always exciting to see that style. You know, I was like, so I hope we continue to see that. So
special teams, you don't want to make a big special teams mistake.
No.
And you want that to be solid, but it could change the game if you flip that, right? A big return, you know, a big return, put your field position, flip the field.
Right.
watching Panther football with us or coming to a game here and there, just to learn about the team and kind of. Let's start off with number 2, senior Montgomery Elder.
He's all heart. Gives you every ounce that he has. Knowledgeable kid, but he's an Energizer bunny.
All right, number 9, senior Caden Guerra.
Grinder. He just loves going to work every day. He wants to earn it. He's just there.
Number 11, senior Matt Villanueva.
A winner, man. Excited to have him back out. He's going to do everything right. Give you everything he has.
Number 12, senior J.J. Watts.
Jokes. Funny guy. Loves to be around everybody. Loves to lift everybody up. He's always got positive things to say. And it's contagious.
Number 14, senior Corbin Hannibal.
He's been a hitter. Last 2 scrimmages, he's had big hits coming downhill.
Headhunter. Nice. And then, hey, this is right. I mean, selfishly, we're trying. Number 15, senior.
Surprise. Speed. You never know what you're going to get, especially as a senior that moves in. You don't know what is going to happen. Young man just comes in, stalls out. He's like quality to the team day one.
Number 20, senior Ethan.
He's going to drill it. He is a kicker all in all, and he loves it. He's out there having fun.
Number 55, senior Craig Hyman.
Scrappy. Doesn't matter. He's mad at me last year because I didn't let him play a whole lot of defense, and he's cutting loose this year.
Yeah.
He enjoys it. He's going to play both sides. He wants to play both sides. And if we put him on every special team, if we leave him off one, he'll get mad.
Number 61, senior Dylan Scoggins.
This year committed. He's been a great surprise for us and selling out for his teammates and working his tail off. Be great.
Number 64, senior Ian Garcia.
He's been playing like a madman with the guy with his hair on fire on the defensive line. He's been quality real for us on the offensive line. The kid just changed young man. It's been awesome.
Number 71, senior Robert Belt.
Cheese, extra jalapenos, but in all seriousness.
Number 4, junior Caden Chambers.
Fun guy, sells out. Just he is going to go and he does not care about his body. He is going to throw it out there, and he is going to be a great UFC fighter, WWE fighter. He's going to and I mean he is awesome to be around. Love that young man. He'll make you laugh. He'll smile about it, and he'll cut a joke and try to get at you just to see what you're doing.
I was going to say selfless because he doesn't care about his body. He's going to go throw it.
Number 6, junior Alex Leckwell.
Big surprise. Just he has done everything right since camp started. Started last year, selling out, weight room, running track, playing baseball, doing all the things right. And he has come out, and that has carried over. And it's been surprising. I can't wait to see what it is.
Number 7, junior Riley Blevins.
Athlete. He's a very skilled young man. He's matured a lot over this year, and sky's the limit for him.
Number 10, junior Corbin Benish.
I mean, you can't see him at fullback, and he's out there on the edge playing strong safety for us. And those guys are coming at him, and I mean, he can twist and contort his body. And next thing you know, he's either by you running for an 80-yard touchdown, or he's at the ankles and the knees of the running back making a tackle for a loss. And they're like, where did he go? So
Burst.
Number 13, junior Hudson Jenner.
Fundamentals, Mr. Fundamentals. Going to do everything right. Attention to detail.
Number 21, junior Colorado Kenaway.
The Flash.
Oh, that's right. He was on the 4x4 team. That's got his name on the wall over here.
He ran a 50 flat as a sophomore on the 400.
Wow.
Folks, that's smoking. Number 22, junior Braddock Galini.
Playmaker.
Edge player, coming off the edge, playmaker, speed, length. He's got it all. Once he puts it all together, he's going to be scary.
Number 24, junior, Avant Bates.
Avant's a competitor. Great basketball player for us. Got back out here. Great athlete, good speed.
Number 26, junior, Ryan Yinch.
Tough. Got banged up a little bit last night and just kept coming back and hitting.
Number 34, junior, Braden DeBose.
Great kid. Great teammate.
Number 35, junior, Troy Wyatt.
Guy just moved in at the start of the year and has done a great job for us. He's a great young man.
Number 37, junior, Mason Harvey.
I wouldn't want to tackle him. I want to have to block him. Smart, coach's kid. Ball. I feel sorry for that.
Jim Rat.
I mean, joking about this in the booth the other night. He probably, I was saying, and don't get mad at me, Coach Harvey, but 3 o'clock in the morning, he probably sets his alarm and he goes and takes a scoop of protein or something, right? Am I that far off?
Do a couple sets.
We got 75 tutorials, and I'm pretty sure Mason eats a sandwich before one, peanut butter and jelly on the way to one, each class. So I think he eats about 10 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches a day because he's all about eating and making sure his size is right. So.
Number 44, junior, Elijah Melton.
Freakish athlete. He can do a lot of crazy things, and once he gets it together and puts it together, it's going to be special with him, and excited to see. He's also just a quality young man that yes sir, no sir, kid, and he's going to do what you ask.
Raw and natural.
Number 50, junior, Bryce Lang.
Motor. He's going full speed, full tilt.
Number 56, junior, Mason Berry. A third Berry.
Very boy that is a ball player. He wants to do it, and he knows it. You just got to get him going in the right way to be a ball player.
Competitor.
Number 60, junior, Luis Mendoza.
Strong, crazy strong. He's going to get his hands on you.
It's game over.
Yeah.
He grabs you.
Number 65, junior, Luke Vogel.
Spark plug, energizer bunny, man.
Number 73, junior, Antonio Perez.
The Rock, just a strong weight room kid, gets after it.
And the final junior, number 79, Grayson Carlisle.
Teammate, worker. He wants some pressure on him.
All right, that wraps up our junior class, 22 of those. There's 4 sophomores, starting with number 1, sophomore Peyton Helfer.
Competitor, fierce competitor.
Number 68, sophomore Lane Black.
Smart.
Number 72, sophomore Chris Ledesma.
He's a wall. I mean, he's 6'4", 5. I mean, he's a big old kid. He's finally learning how to use his body. He's one of those things. He's got another height.
It's that natural ability.
And last but not least, number 74, sophomore Joshua Hernandez.
Student of the game, going to work. It's important for him to be great for his teammates.
All right, fellas, almost wrapping this up. I think we're going to wrap it up here. Let's talk a little bit about, we got our schedule. I know our schedule, and, I'm not going to really ask you too much about the schedule, but I like the way the schedule's set up this year. We've got a home game, away game, home game, away game, all the way through. Let's talk about non-conference. A game that maybe jumps out to you, or a game that maybe you're overly excited about, or
Right now it's Floresville. Getting that first one in, finding a way to win, getting this team unified and on the right track. But they're all big games.
They are.
And,
The district games, I'm not going to ask you which one. They're all big district games. You got to win them all, right? But just to kind of round them off, and maybe I'll ask you. But we start district this year, folks, with Wimberley here at home. Go to Salado next week.
And so, and it's a haul to go there.
I was going to say that's going to be the longest road trip.
And so all those factors combined, I think, is going to, it's going to be one of those things where we really have to focus and we really have to be on our game because we don't know what we're getting into. With Salado, I think, you can see what they do on film and all, but we haven't been around their traditions. We don't so we don't know what we're walking into, so to speak. But I think that we'll handle it well. The coaches will have our players prepared. But I think, that's the game that I want to see how that plays out. I really want to see how we handle that, how we deal with the team. I know we have a couple of those, Floresville one of them, but a district game where we're playing somebody completely new to us.
Yeah. Go ahead. They did. They love to play us, and boy, if they beat us, it's a big deal. So
they're an extremely athletic team.
I was going to say,
bringing a lot of kids back from finishing second behind Cuero in that district, and they're going to be tough. They got the big line and then a lot of skill behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. So that wraps up the schedule. Let's jump into maybe our final thoughts for all of us. Final thoughts could be a little different. Maybe Coach Dunham. Any final thoughts from you? From the defense, could be special teams. Anything that you've got that you want us to know that you haven't already told us.
Defensively, we're looking for those best 11 guys we put on the field each week that are going to give us the best chance to win. Looking for competitors, things like that. I think we've got a good mix. I think the entire roster, top to bottom, all four, some young men that are going to dress out for us. They can all contribute. Special teams wise, one person we didn't talk about is our deep snapper. Center touches it. If we have bad snap, everybody knows we got Craig Heim in there. We got Braddock Cleaning. Those guys can snap. They can get downfield, and they're both short tacklers. They like it. They own it. They know it's a hard position to do.
Oh yeah.
They have owned it, and they're doing a real quality job at it. And you can't forget about those guys.
What about you?
Mine is just, I love how the team plays together right now. We're making mistakes. Guys are making mistakes, but everybody else is picking them up. You haven't heard one kid start
Center become offensive MVP before.
You want to take a glance here?
I'm trying to think in my mind. From what I've seen last year from this one player, and we haven't seen him much in the scrimmages. And Trotty comes to mind because he's such an athlete.
Okay.
And so I think with Trotty, just depending on if he can stay healthy throughout the season, I think he would be one. In my second team MVP, if you want to say that.
Yeah, I'm going to give
probably be Helfer.
Okay.
I mean,
The
Helfer,
sophomore
I think
quarterback,
that-
Helfer. Yes, sir.
Yeah, because from what I've seen him making good decisions, like you talked about earlier, throwing away the ball when you need to, and he was able to put it on a rope and put it on a dime as well.
Right.
So
Right.
I really like the way he handles the team as well in the huddles and everything too. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with those two.
Okay. I've got two as well. Let's call them co. My number one is going to be a strong guard. I'm going with Lane Black. I just feel like, with our offense, and we pull our guards a bunch, and just the nature of the slot T. I don't know. I have a soft spot in my heart for Lane Black. He's a smart kid. He's a big kid. I really like what he does. But my second one is, I got to go Cohen Blunt. The kid just runs. His footwork's amazing for the size. He runs. You saw him in the scrimmage the other night. He just, Cohen's a great young man, and he runs really hard, and I like what he does. And he blocks and he understands the offense. So those are my two. Defensive side.
You know, I
Putting you
saw-
on the spot, I know.
I saw him out there, and I thought he was a playmaker just in the scrimmage against Divine.
Yeah.
I think you're looking at Galini as one of your really your big play guy, making sacks. I mean, knocking down the ball, making big tackles for loss. I mean, I see him being a real big part of that defense and making some things happen. So I'd go right away with Galini.
Okay. Well, it's probably not going to shock any of you, but I'm going to go with the cornerback. I'm going with Mr. Cutaway.
Oh.
No, I feel like there's obviously as many spread teams as we face. And, I'm looking